Good morning, and on behalf of our board of directors and staff, we welcome you today. I'm Mary Lou Bedford, and I'm the CEO of the Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce. And joining me on the screen are our Executive Vice President, Marie Ann Tuna, and our Chair of the Board of Directors for 2021, Lynn Casella of Florida Public Utilities. So we thank you all for being here. And today, Maria, Lynn, and I want to share with you our focus as we move forward as one organization. And more importantly, we want to hear from you, our members and our partners. And thank you in advance to those who submitted questions ahead of time. We appreciate that. And if you are interested in submitting a question during the program, feel free to use the Q&A feature on your screen, and we'll get to as many questions as possible during the live program. If we don't get to your question, we promise that we are committed to answering that question for you. So we will get your question answered in the future. So again, thank you for being here. Most of you on this program are aware of this, but for those of you who are not, on October 16th of 2020, during the pandemic, we had the good fortune of having the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County join the Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce. And it was really just a blessing. It's a win-win for both organizations. It gives us an opportunity to have a stronger voice and a larger impact in the community. We sent you all letters, we sent out a press release, and we committed in that letter to make sure that we continue to share the mission and vision of both organizations as we combine into one. And as a chamber, our mission has always been to provide leadership that facilitates the creation of a prosperous economic region and also great advocacy for you, our members, and we'll continue to do that. We're focused on keeping the region attractive and prosperous through making sure that we are focusing on pressing matters and challenges such as infrastructure, workforce readiness, housing, and jobs, just to name a few. So we'll continue to do that so that businesses and the communities, no matter what size business you are, can flourish. That's really important to us as a chamber. The chamber supports a program of work that focuses on economic development, education, workforce readiness. We have public policy, infrastructure, as well as business attraction, retention, and expansion. And we'll continue to do that. And we'll continue to maintain and cultivate those relationships with our municipality, county, and community leaders so that we continue to do great work and advocacy and support for you, our members. And so I'd like to have Marie Ann Tuna right now, who is our Executive Vice President, and as you all know, truly is the face of the Hispanic business community and so well respected. So I'd like to have Maria share with you all. Maria?
Thank you, Mary Lou, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us this morning. This has been a very, very exciting time for the Hispanic Chamber. This was a conversation that had been going on actually with Mary Lou and myself off and on throughout the year and the past year. We had often talked about this because we share so much of the community that it made all the sense at some point to be exactly where we're at today. And the pandemic obviously had a lot to do with it as well. And we thought that what a great time it would be to join forces. Mary Lou and I have always been very blessed that we share the same vision and mission. And we thought that it would be really a good thing for the community if both chambers could just come together, join forces, share the resources, and help each other out. At the end of the day, the most important thing is the delivery that we provide to the community. And that delivery for us is where we're at today. We want to continue what both chambers have done, except that now we can continue together. We can have a more powerful voice. We can be, presentation can be stronger in the community. And it's not one side or the other. It's actually only one side, one team, one success that we can now deliver to the community. Basically, changes will come with any transition and any merger acquisition, however we want to see it. At the end of the day, the changes are for the good of all. It's changes that both boards were very excited about. Both boards were wanting to join and do this together. So we're very happy. We are quite ecstatic of what we're going to do in the future together and the delivery that we'll be able to provide the community. So thank you for being here this morning. And now at this time, I'm proud to introduce our board chair, Ms. Lynn Castillo.
Well, thank you, Maria, and good morning, everyone. What a pleasure it is to be here with these two lovely ladies and each of you today. And I also thank you for taking time to be with us this morning. And wow, what a beautiful morning it is, right? So I'm going to apologize right now. I have the windows in the house open. If the noisy birds or the landscapers arrive, you're all going to know what's happening. But I also may read from some notes along the way because I just don't want to forget anything. And I don't want Emily to yell at me if I go over my time. So I appreciate that. So the role of a board member, right, is to, of course, establish and advance the mission, provide advocacy, leadership, oversight, and governance of the organization. And as chairwoman, my responsibilities also include acting as a sounding board for Mary Lou and Marie, and to help develop strategies to reach our goals. So I've had the pleasure of knowing both of these ladies, Mary Lou more than Maria, and I've always been impressed with their knowledge of the current business climate and their connections, right? Again, I don't know Maria as well, but my experiences in the past with the Hispanic Chamber have all been very positive and supportive. And I want you to know that the current board of directors includes 9 of the most dedicated, talented, and passionate professionals in this county. And I'm so proud to be working with them and the staff members at the Chamber. So as Mary Lou said, we exist to promote and protect your interests by creating an environment in which you and your business can prosper, right? And so the coming together of the Hispanic Chamber of Palm Beach County and the Central Palm Beach County Chamber does just that. Over the course of my nearly 40-year career, I've been a general member, a committee member, a trustee, and a board member for the Chamber. From way back in the 80s, I know many of you probably aren't that old, but I was the executive director of the Palm Beach County Growing Tours program then. After that, I moved over to Callery Judge Grove, from there to Farm Credit of South Florida, then to Farm Credit of Florida, and through to today to Florida Public Utilities. So you might ask, why have I devoted so much time and money into this organization over the decades, right? And so a couple of reasons, I think. I love connecting people with purpose, fulfilling needs. And boy, if that isn't the heart and soul of a marketer, right? I enjoy having a voice in my community and working together with others to solve challenges. And having always been in marketing roles, I believe that great marketing successes, which are sales, right? Marketing leads to sales. They happen when you have the right product in front of the right person at the right time, and of course, the right price. And who better than the Chamber of Commerce to provide the platforms on which to build such campaigns? So bottom line, Chamber membership has been beneficial to the success of my companies and my career through the creation of new relationships and that have developed into new clients, which have increased sales. People do business with people they know. It's all about the connections. I've always believed that there's strength in numbers, and never, in my opinion, as Maria said earlier, has this been more important than today. Over the past year, each and every one of our lives and our livelihoods have been impacted, forever changed in so many ways. And so the coming together of our two organizations is one that is very well timed and has many benefits. A key one being the creation of value for us, the stakeholders, the business owners. Because by uniting these two independently successful organizations, which are led by two very well connected and experienced business leaders who each have extensive networking, business development, and relationship skills, we're all going to benefit. Instead of having to choose between being a member of either the Hispanic Chamber of Palm Beach County or the Central Palm Beach County Chamber, you are now members of both. To quote Mr. Ford, the most important things in life are the connections and relationships you make with others. And this applies, of course, both personally and professionally. For me, for sure, and I'm just going to take 1/2 of 1 minute to share my story of connections with you. So Don Rice was a board member of mine when I was the director of the Palm Beach County Growing Tours. He was also the CEO of Farm Credit of South Florida. See the connection? Mr. Callery had a loan with Farm Credit of Florida, and he and I first, I don't even know that you know this, Mary Lou, but we met at a Palms West Chamber event. Here's the best connection of all. I was introduced to Mark Dubois, my husband, in Mr. Callery's office over 20 years ago. Everything is connected. Love, friendship, networking, these all help form a critical foundation to lead to happiness, success, and a great life. To me, both of these chambers are excellent connectors, whether through the various advertising tools, marketing opportunities, networking events, information about business or market trends or data, connection to elected officials. You now have access to all of the resources and all of the members of both chambers. And you never know, perhaps one of you may just meet your future employer or your spouse. I applaud you all for being a member. You have made a smart investment in the success of your company. I'm looking forward to our discussion this morning. And once again, thank you for taking time for being with us here today. Mary Lou?
Great, thank you, Lynn. And it's wonderful to get your perspective as a member of the chamber and how you totally nailed it when you talked about relationship, because that truly is what the chamber's resources, the resources that we have to introduce company to company, person to person, community leader to business. I mean, that is our role. And both Maria and I absolutely love and flourish in that area. We think it's so important. Our role as staff of the chamber is to make sure that we're making those connections, to make sure that our businesses are being successful, to make sure that we're continuing to build those relationships that will help everyone prosper. And so, I love the connection, Lynn. I was not aware of that. And so it just shows you the more engaged you are as a chamber member, the more layers you can unfold in your connections and your network. I had someone share with me saying that your network is your net worth. And I thought that was such a brilliant comment, because it truly is those leaders, those relationships, those businesses that you get to know through your chamber membership will truly help you to continue to flourish. And I will say that, during a pandemic has definitely been challenging to all of us. And I know as business members, it's truly been a challenge for all of you. And I truly feel our chambers and our chamber now have really tried to make sure that we are a resource for all of you. We continue to give you information on COVID-19. We actually have a dedicated section on our website, and in our weekly update, we're always updating you with the county's latest information. So that we're here to be that support and that resource. As Maria was saying, that our role is to make sure that we're serving you, our members. Our role as a chamber is to make sure that we truly are there for you and that you feel the opportunity to reach out to us whenever you need it. That's why this conversation is so important. And that's why it's important that we hear from you. So Maria, I'd like you to interject at this point, because I know you have a lot on your mind as well.
Thank you to both Mary Lou and to Lynn. Everything that we've all three have shared, think about the strength of what we've all said, and think about how we can now serve you even better, more, however we need to serve you. And that's the key. The key is giving you value as a member of the chamber, providing resources to you to help you grow your business. And as Lynn mentioned, now the combined resources and the combined connections will certainly put us in a position where we can move forward with even helping you more. So at this time, if anyone has any questions and they want to put them in the Q&A, we'll be happy to take live questions. Meantime, while you're thinking of some questions, if you have any, I'll start off with a couple that came through us already. And one of those is, how did the joining of the two chambers come about? And I think we've pretty much all three have given the explanation of that, the history of it, how it did come about and why it came about. But if there's anything else you want to know, please put it in the quick Q&A and we'll be happy to expand on that. The other one is, does the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce still exist? Mary Lou, if I could turn that over to you.
Sure, Maria, thank you. As we said earlier, Maria and I shared, and Lynn, that the board of directors of both organizations, met and discussed the pros of joining as one union. And one of the things that we, as the Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce, assured our Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County members is that we will continue to have that mission and vision are in the forefront. What gave both organizations such great synergy is that our missions were very similar, and that our role as advocates for the businesses was of the utmost importance. And so I kind of equate this to a Comcast Xfinity sort of a branding. We will continue branding with the Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce logo and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce logo until everyone is familiar with and realizes that we totally are one group. We have, joined forces. We are one organization as the Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce, but we will utilize the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County logo and continue the mission. As I said earlier, Maria truly is the face of the Hispanic business community, and Maria is here and in the forefront of everything that we do. So we'll continue with that. We also have created a Hispanic Advisory Council so that we have the opportunity to make sure, particularly in the climate that we've experienced in the past year, that we are making sure that not only we continue to be a diverse union, but we also make sure that we are giving opportunities to everyone, to all of our businesses, small and large, no matter culturally what you represent. We want to make sure that we are including everyone and we continue to be a diverse organization. So I don't know, Lynn, if you want to also some questions, please do. Comments about that.
Okay, no. You made mention of engagement. And so I would say that nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? You definitely, the tools and the platforms and the opportunities are available with the chamber, and you do need some engagement as a business owner, right? So it just depends on what your goals are and some of your strategies. I mean, if you're building into a marketing plan, that you want to reach a particular audience, the chamber can help you do that. So I think, yes, you have to be proactive. You have to be engaged to get, the full benefit out of what the chamber offers. And again, in all my years in various roles with different companies, I've always found the thing that could help me, promote our products or services or whatever it may be. And both combined now, it's perfect. It's again, rather than having to split your time and your marketing budget, here we are all together. So it makes all the sense in the world.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lynn. So we have some questions, and we got one that came through Facebook because we are streaming live, just so everyone knows. And the question was, the coming together between the members of the two chambers, when will it take place? The actual coming together of the members have been taking place. I would say that we're almost at 100%. With any joining of forces like we had and being two chambers that were really good aligned the same, there's a transition period. That transition period can't possibly happen within 24 hours, 48, or even a month. there are systems to integrate. There are just different parts of everything that needs to come together. And because of the pandemic, there's been some setbacks with some of the companies we've had to deal with, and but we are almost there. Now the members are all one, and so that has taken place, not to the point of where it looks like, okay, everyone's on the same page now, but we are there, and we are seeing you as one now, which is very important to us because it allows us to deliver better to you. And a part of the same question was, and the Zoom networking events between our members are key. We have been having those. Actually, we've been having them since January. We had 2 successful events in January. So we are moving with forward with events on Zoom, webinar, whichever the case may be. So those are happening and have been happening. If at any time you're not receiving the newsletter or any type of information from us, please let us know so that we can research and make sure that you are now put on the contact list to get the information. So a couple of more questions that are coming in. We have one that says, and we appreciate this one very much. How can one volunteer? I am retired, but was in the industry as director and have high degrees. Would like to see if I can offer my time as a volunteer and contributor. We always appreciate that. Of course, volunteers are the key to a lot of the events that we have and just to run the chamber. So please reach out to us, or if you want to put it in the Q&A, your information, email us. That would be wonderful. We'll be happy to reach out to you and let you know when we can utilize your time. Certainly appreciate that. The other one we have, what is the difference between the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County and the Florida Hispanic American Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County? Thank you. That's a great question. That is, we are the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County. We have different platforms. We have different membership makeup. At the end of the day, the Hispanic Chamber is a 24-year-old brand. It's been around for a very long time. And I'm actually known as the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County. And we're getting a couple of more here. Let's see what we have. Okay, we have the information from the volunteer. Thank you. Now we have them. And just if you want to email us, please email us at info@cpbchamber.com.
Okay, Maria, I actually have a question here that
Okay.
someone was asking, that submitted earlier. What about events and committees? So as we shared, our chamber feels very strongly that during the pandemic that the safety of our staff and our members is of the utmost importance. So right now, as the CDC guidelines have continued, we are meeting remotely. As you can see, we're virtual events, so we are not having in-person meetings, but we are slowly rolling out committees, leads, groups, ambassadors. We will be rolling all those out. As Maria shared earlier, in the transition, you've got a database that you have to combine, you have emails that you have to combine, you have all those interior things and the internal things that are too boring for us to share today. But so as we've aligned those and we're completing all of that, we are slowly going to be rolling out those committees. So the most important thing, as Lynn mentioned so eloquently, engagement is the key. So we want to have as many opportunities for you, the members, to have opportunities to engage, whether it's through leads groups, the ambassador program, committees that you serve on. So our networking events and things like that, we will continue to do those virtually for right now, but we will be rolling out an in-person as soon as we find that it's safe. And so Lynn, I'd like to have you interject as well, because as a member, again, Maria and I are the staff, we always look to hear from as our chairwoman, a member's perspective of these. So if you wouldn't mind addressing that as well.
Absolutely. And thank you Ruth for volunteering on the marketing side. That's awesome. I think as business owners, right, you have to know your business, know your products, and figure out, again, going back to that, the perfect product in front of the perfect market at the perfect time. And so the tools that the Chamber office offers, and as Mary Lou said, eventually, to get back to live ones, but the opportunities from a marketing perspective, I'm an extrovert. I love going to all those events. I would be at an event every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? But now we're doing it virtually. And we look at that as a business owner and say, okay, well, I don't have the opportunity to work the room, to introduce myself, my company, my products, but I'll tell you what, the sponsorships that are available for the virtual events, now we're around forever. Our logo is on we had the panel discussion with our elected officials not that long ago. It's great to see your logo out in front of the live audience, but as this is being recorded and, goes out on the Chamber website and Facebook, we're going to be out there forever, which is kind of scary. But from a marketing perspective, that's awesome, right? I mean, so you are getting still such a value, and Mary Lou and Maria have been so good in working under the conditions that we are all right now because of COVID. But I feel like they've created opportunities that are still so valuable from a marketing perspective for a business. And again, it depends on what your business is, right? What's your target market? But now that we have the Hispanic Chamber together, that reach out becomes that much easier for us. And so Maria started out, and Mary Lou, by saying what an exciting time it is. It really is. You always want to be involved with the start of something new, right? I know a lot of other people don't, but I think the three of us do. We see the possibilities, we have the passion, and so when you combine that, I think, nothing is impossible.
I appreciate you saying that, Lynn, because for those of you who aren't aware, on our website, on both websites, because right now we are filling the content of both the Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce website and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce website, for those of you who are familiar utilizing that website. We have a list of all of our past virtual events that we have done since the beginning of COVID, which March 13th will start a year. And so if you haven't had an opportunity to go and see any of those, you can click and view on any of those on our YouTube channel. So you just have to find the topic that works for you and click on it, and you'll have the recording. And to your point, a lot of our businesses have utilized those sponsorships and have had an opportunity to have their logo out there, not only on social media. We try to layer our branding, if you will. So we'll put our events on our weekly update. We'll send them out on their own through an e-blast. We'll put them on Facebook, on Instagram. So it really is that layering. So you have an opportunity to continue to engage. So I'm thankful for bringing that up. So if you have a topic that maybe you didn't have a chance to tune in, they are available on our websites. So make sure you check those out if you want to. Maria, I know we had a few more questions come in. So if you want to go ahead and field those, that would be great.
Absolutely. We have a question. When can we start a leads group meeting, a meet and mingle Tuesday? For those of you that a meet and mingle is a mixer after hours. We are in the process of putting those together. Again, it goes to the conversation we had earlier when the transition takes place. There are certain priorities that just have to happen before we can go to phase 2 or possibly even phase 3, depending how quickly we move through the transition. Please rest assured that we're in process of putting all of those together. We're at the point now of calendar and putting dates together. And also, do we do them in person? Do we do them webinar? Do we do Zoom? We're really at this point in the stage we're in with the pandemic, we're just trying to go through the motions of what's the safest, what's the best way to continue business I don't know that we can say business as usual anymore, but to continue business to a normalcy. So we're going through those motions right now together and trying to see what's best for everyone, because I really appreciate how Mary Lou always puts it is we follow the CDC guidelines, but we certainly don't want to be known as the super spreader in the county where we had all these events and all of a sudden everybody's pointing fingers. Oh, it was the chamber that had this event. And so we're very much being respectful of you and everyone's health. And at the same time, an obligation that we must follow the CDC guidelines. And as we all know, it hasn't been lifted that we can go and immediately start doing all that we did before. So we're going through those motions now, but rest assured those will happen soon, whether they're Zoom or in person. So we're putting all that together and we're looking at the calendar. And to that was another question that was asked. It was actually texted to me, and they're wanting to know about events, signature events on both sides, which is such a great question. And we're constantly being asked about that. So I'm going to refer back to Mary Lou.
Thank you so much, Maria. You know, we know how important those signature events are to both sides of the chambers, and the opportunity to make sure that we are gathering together and making sure that as we move forward as one group, that we are finding, as someone put it, those events that we know will be supported and are truly important to both groups. So that's what the Hispanic Advisory Committee, we wanted to make sure that the signature events that came from the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, what's important for us as an organization. So we will be continuing those events. We were going to be doing a strategic planning session. And so we're excited about that because the board and our Hispanic Advisory Committee will finalize those signature events. But I can assure you that those signature events that are near and dear to your heart, we will be following through and making sure that we hold them for you from both sides of the organization. As Maria said in the beginning, transition is never easy, but I will tell you that it is going to be the best for the organization as a whole. So we're excited that we will be holding some of those signature events. So stay tuned. So we'll be announcing when we'll be having those events, and hopefully those real signature events such as Triunfo and the holiday parade, we'll be able to have those in person. So we're going to make sure that we are strategic about it, but that we are making sure that we have everyone's best business and best membership connection involved. And Lynn, I don't know if you want to express some as well. Let's get your input on that. Thanks.
So as we talked a little bit earlier, you know, both boards work together, right? To do the due diligence, to try to figure out how we move forward together. And so I just have to give kudos to both of these ladies here with us today, because we would not be in the position we are right now without both of them having the vision and having taking the initiative to come to the boards to say, what do you think about this? And so as professionals, you know, again, our board is comprised of people who have been within our business community for years, and they're very well respected. Their businesses are well respected. And that's what you want, right? You want to, I always do want to attach myself, whether it's to a great CEO who is looking out to the future. Let him look out 10 years. I'll take care of between today and then. And likewise, I see both Mary Lou and Maria in that leadership role to say, this looks like a really great opportunity. Let's talk about it. Without that initiative, this would have never happened. So we talk about timing. Yes, we had, you know, we're still going through COVID, right? But hopefully the worst is behind us. So talk about challenging times, but coming together, I think the timing is perfect for this, because we do, as stakeholders, as members, we get the opportunity to engage with and interact with both memberships and all the opportunities. And I see one of the questions here was, you know, well, what can members do, right, to benefit everyone? And from my perspective, I would say two things. I would say engagement and support, because when we get to holding a live event, or even today, for instance, if we would have developed this event and had no one attend, without that engagement, without that support and that passion, it's meaningless. And so while we may be above in passion, maybe than, the average member, but love to share the vision with you. And as Mary Lou said, once we go through the strategic planning session, be able to answer some more specific questions about where we're going and how we're going to get there. I'm just so excited about the possibilities, about our future.
Thanks, Lynn. Appreciate that. I will say one thing about go back to the virtual events before we go into in-person. The silver lining with that is we have had members reach out and say, this is the first time I've been able to attend an event because I was able to do it virtually. I a lot of times can't leave my office or my home. And so I've had the opportunity to learn things and get to know the chamber better and utilize my membership with the educational pieces that you're doing. So there's always the positive. We always try to look at the positive things during this pandemic. And I think the coming together and the supporting, you as the members, and our leadership as our board of directors, I just have to thank all of you because you truly are. You are the organization. We're the servants of the organization as well as the staff, but you truly are the organization. And the more that you support, give us your feedback, attend virtually, the better for everyone. So we really, truly appreciate that. Maria, I know we have another question, so I'll turn it over to you.
I was actually going through them. We do have one question that, and it's, do you have any advanced committees for young Hispanic professionals? I am going to answer that by saying, Mr. Avila, if you would be kind enough to call the office, I would really appreciate spending some time with you and speaking on the phone, and maybe you can help us in thinking of some events and committees that would put us on the path to provide Hispanic professionals some events and committees. So we would appreciate any ideas and suggestions that you may have. So if you'd like to call the office at 561-832-1986, we really would appreciate that, and ask for Maria, and I'll be happy to spend some time speaking with you about that. Thank you.
And that's great, Maria. And thank you, Matthew, for that question, because young professionals are so important. Mentorship is something that's very important to us as a Chamber of Commerce. We want to continue to utilize that thought leadership of our leaders and those who are experienced in the workforce to continue to support our young professionals as they're moving up in their careers, and to be that resource for them and support for them. So young professionals out there, if you hear us, send us an email, info@CPB Chamber, and we will be happy to discuss that. Matthew, we definitely are going to be calling on you to help lead some of these conversations. So any of our young professionals out there, we need you and we need your voice. So we're excited about that. So thank you for that question. Maria, do we have another question that you want to field?
Can I make one comment about
Please.
about mentoring in the future?
Please.
So I remember years ago, way back when the gala was held at the Palm Beach Polo Club out west, and part of the evening's ceremony was that you brought the young students from the leadership group in the Palms West Chamber out on stage, right? And you awarded, I don't remember the dollar amount of the scholarships, but I was so impressed by the quality of those students. And they got to talk about, maybe shaping your career or your meeting your first, boss. They really had a great room full, several hundred people of business owners to actually engage and chat with. So from so many perspectives, we get involved and support the community, whether it's scholarships or, putting together a young person's program, all the way over to the business side, right? And it's very impactful. I will never forget, that evening. So very impactful to the community at large. And of course, it's helping us as business owners too. We're investing in that next generation that someday may, come to work for any of us. So just wanted to put my 2 cents in.
Thank you, Lynn. Great. And we have one last question, and that is, which is a great question, and we appreciate you asking. Is there an increase in the membership dues, and how much is the year membership now? The membership dues is to stay as is for the first year during the transition. And obviously we can't go from this dollar amount to this dollar amount within 3 months of doing what we accomplished. And then after that, yes, there will be a different look of what the fee will be. And that will happen on your anniversary. And that's more on the Hispanic side, the members that came over. We are honoring the, your first year until your renewal, of which then we will need the alignment to come together, everyone to be on the same tier or level, however you're going to look at it, to be on the same level as all of our members are. Thank you. And I believe if there's no other questions, we have pretty much answered all our questions, which is great.
Great. Thank you so much, Maria, for fielding the questions for us. We appreciate that. And thank you for those of you who submitted questions. The communication is the most important thing. Lynn, your background is marketing. I was a communications major with public relations as an emphasis. So, communicating is so important. I know with Maria's background in training and in sales, the information that we send out to our members, the more informed our members are, the more opportunities they have to be engaged. So that's why we wanted to take this time with you today. And we appreciate you all tuning in and listening to us. I will share with you as we wrap up that we do have an event coming up on March 24th. And Johnny is putting the slide up. Thank you, Johnny. For those of you who don't know, it's Women History Month. March is the month of Women History, and actually this Monday is the International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to everyone, a little bit early, but we have, in honor of that, a State of the Workforce webinar, Women in the Workforce. We're partnering with CareerSource of Palm Beach County, another opportunity as we've grown as a chamber with our organizations to getting these wonderful partnerships out there. So we are working with CareerSource, has always been a great partner for our chambers, to bring you this event. It's going to be really great. We have featured speakers from LinkedIn, Liz Wilkie from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. We have Ashley Wilson, who's the VP of Congressional and Public Affairs. And then we have Catherine Heba, who's the Florida College System Chancellor for the Florida Department of Education. So we're going to be having a really great conversation with these ladies. So we hope that you will tune in for that. And to register, you can see there, you just register on our Central Palm Beach County Chamber website, which is cpbchamber.com. We're excited to have you be part of that event. We just want to thank you all for everything that you have done for the chamber. And as we move forward as one entity, we look forward to engaging all of you and for you as the members to get to know one another as well. So I want to thank our wonderful chairwoman, Lynn Casella, for spending some time with us this morning so our members can get to know who our chairwoman is for 2021. For our wonderful Maria Antuna, who is just stellar, and we truly are. People have been dubbing us the dynamic duo, but I really just want to thank Maria for everything that you've done. I have to give a big thank you to Emily and Johnny, Emily Statnick, our events coordinator, and Johnny Breek, who is our membership sales manager. And he has just really been instrumental. He's our IT guy, so all the slides you see Johnny has created. So we thank you for joining the conversation. Any additional information or questions you have, you can go to info@cpbchamber.com, or if you want to email either Maria or I, you can go on our website and go under the staff, and our emails are there available for you, as well as our phone number. So feel free to contact us with any questions you have. And we just want to thank you so much for joining us today. Michelle McGovern, thank you for your kind words. We appreciate it. We're glad that you're excited about this joining of the organization, and we really look forward to everyone who is supporting us, and we continue to serve you and to be great advocates for business. So have a great day. Thank you all again, and we'll see you soon. Take care.